Hi, my name is Keavy Murphree and I'm a Nashville-based artist and designer. I work primarily in ceramics and I make anything from smaller scale, animal-inspired whimsical figures to larger scale furnishings including lighting, tables, and wall hanging pieces. I first fell in love with the medium during a high school art class, and there was something about working with ceramics and working with clay that I had such a visceral reaction to, and I really loved it. But it really wasn't until 2016 when I was laid off from my job here in Nashville that time and space opened up for me to pursue other interests again. I started doing some freelance design work, getting back into the creative side of things, and I love that. And then I dipped my toes back into clay through a local ceramics class through the Parks program. In that class, I wound up making a series of little whimsical, sort of animal-inspired, minimalistic-looking figures. One of the women in the class just freaked out over this little figure and thought it was so cute and loved it, and it made her so happy. And something about that interaction just flipped the switch in my head where I realized that the work that I make and things that I put in the world that are meaningful to me can also mean something to other people. And that was really the push I needed to make more of these figures. I got that work in a local show, and through that show, in a different turn of events, I got a commission that I needed access to a bigger studio space, and that led me to where my studio is now. It's just been sort of a slow build from tapering off freelance design work to now working full-time in ceramics in my studio here at the Clay Lady campus. Most of my work starts with a really simple sketch, and then when I go into making it, all of my work is hand-built, and I'll either use hump molds with everyday objects or molds that I've poured in plaster myself. A lot of times I'll construct things using coils, slabs, sculpting. I also am a fan of using extruded pieces, which you'll see in any of the curly hair kind of look. Those are mostly extruded. I think I really like marrying mechanized process with final piece, especially in that with those components. Sometimes I'm craving more of a technical challenge, and some pieces are born out of that, out of asking myself, okay, what will happen if I do this? What will happen if I push the medium in this way? Can it do this? Can clay stand up this way, be connected in this way? There's like a give and take with working in clay that I really, really enjoy in a way that I don't find with other mediums. So for example, if I'm working on a piece and I have this sketch idea of, I'm sketching some random ideas, it's the curiosity of how that will actually look in real life that pushes me to make it. And I've always been really inspired by beauty and fun and things that bring delight to myself and others. So a lot of the animals in particular, I love that people think they're like funny or that puts a smile on people's faces. Some of the other pieces are born more out of a desire for me to see what it's actually going to look like in real life beyond just on a page. But I do think that it is a dialogue with people when they choose to have my work in their homes. It's really an honor, and I'm thrilled when people respond to my work positively because it is a reflection of my own self, and it's personal in that way. I've been so inspired lately through travel, even other people's travel. I think there's something interesting about seeing places through someone else's eyes, and it also gives pause to be able to reflect on individual images of different places that maybe I haven't been to, or that are, especially the past few years, maybe not being able to travel all that much. We were in St. Louis, in the fall, and so much of that architecture was built by Louis Sullivan, and it's so ornate and opulent, and that particular time period of marrying what eventually became like a sleek modernism and came from more of like a heavily ornamented thing, like that mashup, and when that was happening at that particular time period, sort of Art Deco-ish, it's been really inspiring and really fresh, and I'm excited about it in general. I think some of that has shown up in some of my more recent work, the larger pieces. I'm super inspired by women that I've known through the years, ever since starting in clay, and even before that, watching women and friends of mine build their businesses, whether that be floral design or in ceramics. has been so cool. And part of that feeds into how I'm spending the next part of the year, and that's through collaborative projects. So right now I'm working on a collaborative project with one of my studio mates named Becca Jane Kohler. Becca is actually the one that introduced me to the studio spaces here, and she's long been an inspiration to me from her amazing body of work, her artistry, her work ethic. So I'm really excited and thrilled to be working with her on this. I think there's something about working with another artist collaboratively that's like this magic alchemy and excitement that has been super energizing. And then I'm also working with another artist within my studio named Alexia Abag, and she makes my very favorite coffee mug in the whole world. I just love, I've admired her work for a long time. I love the simplicity of her work, and so we're working on a collaborative coffee mug collection together. Each mug in the collection is going to be unique and is going to be decorated with the faces that I make on pieces, and the handle is going to work into the hair on the mug, and they're so cute. I'm so excited about them.